Looking for sick merch? Well, MTGGoldfishMerch.com's got you. With this tee, remind everyone misery is back.
This programming is rated R for rad. This content's only for serial chillers. If my decks or playstyle makes you mad, haters can stay mad and touch grass. Salty Gamers requires accompanying parent or adult. Yo, what's up? This video's been brought to you by Card Kingdom. Welcome back to probably a much-needed single scoop episode. A return to form, if you will. First off, as you know, Control has kind of been mostly Jess guy, you know, but like that's like using dragons and it's doing the Snapcaster like bolt like game plan over and over, right? So it's like Control-ish tempo, but Dimir Control. That was always one of my favorites. Nephalia Drown Yard, all of that, and I think it's back. Thanks to Makubi, they piloted this to a solid third place finish in the standard challenger event, and I kind of had to take it and kind of naturally pick it apart and mess with it a little bit so it can be best of one friendly, and yeah. The deck is fun. We're going to use Oil Deep Gear Hulk. You know I want to get in the mech, all right? I'm getting in the robot. It's got that beautiful Evangelion full art, and this has been one of my favorite Gear Hulk since Aether Drift spoiler season, and it's looking good, especially in this red meta where the Ward 1 can be really taxing on the prowess decks, and even if they trample over, you get that life link. And then, of course, Dispelling Exhale, the new, or not new, but pretty much kind of new, like sort of mana leak effect where it costs you to, or the spell of the opponents gets countered unless they pay to, but if they have, you show a dragon, then they have to pay 4. Which the only dragon really is Meringue River Regent, which is, as you know by now, an all-star. It's been getting picked up across multiple blue decks. 6 mana, enters, it bounces 2 permanents, but Coil and Catch its Omen side draws 3 and ditches a card. So really, really efficient Omen spell. On top of that, a really good body. And as you could figure out the rest, we've got Restless Reefs to like do the old Celestial Colonnade beatdown. I know that's blue-white, but you know, that old creature land beatdown. I've got some Jace in here in case people need to get milled out because people aren't respecting Jace right now, so they won't expect getting milled randomly. But because also the graveyard meta where there's so many things reanimating, we've got all sorts of cards like Ghost Vacuums as well. But yeah, we're just going to see if an honest Dimir Control deck has what it takes, and I think it does. This has interaction. Yeah, I get to surveil, and I have a pretty smooth curve after turn 3, right? So no more lands needed. Thank you very much, game. Okay, well, that I feel like is the monkey's paw curling. I am going to actually just go ahead and play the Goomlake Verge. Be ready for anything that comes down. Oh, it's blue-white. All right. So we know what kind of deck we know what they're up to. So I need to find their graveyard stuff sooner than later. I'm going to go ahead and just play a land. I now have drawn another land. Archaeologist? Sure. I mean, they get another mill out of it. Okay, but they did not hit what I was afraid of, which would be like an Omniscience or something in the graveyard. Like, yeah. Sure. I'll go ahead and play Gear Hulk. Let's take a look at their hand. They have a reanimation spell, Confounding Conundrum, the invasion. I don't care about temporary lockdown either, so I more so care about, I actually could just kind of don't want them to have anything. Yeah, I'll just ditch the Confounding Conundrum. I think that's the only thing that matters here. They can play their Saga. They can mill some more stuff. They have so many ways to spin through their deck, right? It's the counterspell backup that I care more about than anything else. All right, so they're looking to draw 2. This only costs 2 less if it's an attacking creature, right? So I can block, get rid of it. They can keep their Chart a Course or whatever it is. Luckily, they don't discard, and because they don't discard, I don't have to worry about Omniscience going into the bin. Now, I see they might need a land, or they're tanking if they want to play Founding the Third Path, because they could and immediately go to Chapter 2. All right, sweet. They gain a life. That's fine with me. Like, the question is, do they care enough to discard or whatever? And as long as I can keep 2 threats on board, I can probably kill them relatively fast. So I'm going to play Harvester of Misery, forcing them to keep up that Apara's Dispersal, or Afara's Dispersal. I'm just going to windmill slam bodies and then pass. They could play their battle or whatever that is. That's fine with me as well. So now they're going to go get Abuelos or something like that. They do not... They've just drawn Abuelos because they checked their yard, I'm pretty sure. So now they just need to get an Omniscience into the yard. Okay. What's the opponent up to here? Chapter 2, naturally, mill yourself. Yep. There's Omniscience. Okay, so next turn they'll be able to cast one of those Abuelos for free. However, I need to hit an actual piece of graveyard hate here. Okay, so they're going to spend all that mana to then put Oil Deep to my hand. So do they have another Afara's Dispersal? One. They do. Okay, so they have the double. That's fine with me. I'm going to try to counter and draw 2, just because I really need to find either a Ghost Vacuum or something along those lines, right? Okay, so they're going to cast said spell, I assume. Do they have Spell Pierce? If they have Spell Pierce, that's looking pretty good, right? I couldn't pay for the Spell Pierce if... I can pay for the Spell Pierce if I use only the counter mode, but I need a dig. So, let's go. I'm going to throw away a Cut Down. Cut Down's kind of irrelevant here to me. Now I get to Duress, which is going to be pretty nice, though. Okay. Sure, opponent. That is kind of bad, but let's take a look at their hand. Abuelos, throw that away. So this grabs anything, but it costs 5, right? So, perfect. So it's going to take a little bit of time for any of that to happen. I don't know if I want to actually have... Let me see here. I need to look for... Yes! Okay, that's perfect. Now we say good game. Cool. So every card they have is gone. Now they have to play their Arcavios, which they will, and when they do, I'll just go and play Oil Deep Gearhulk to take what they put into hand. Perfect, sure. Island, that's fine, that's expected. I might even bin the temporary lockdown here. Let me look at their battlefield. Yeah, perfect, GG's. Perfect. I have mana, I have things to do. Love that. And on top of that, I've got the Gloomlake Verge here, so, oh, cool. I'm going to just try to get mana. I have a 5-drop in my hand that I'd like to, maybe cast, but if not, yo, it's a pretty dope -2/-2. All right, they're up to some shenanigans right now. Let's go take a look at their hand. I just saw a Valgavoth's Lair, so you know nonsense is up. Guardian, yes, so they do all of these things, sure. Whenever this door is unlocked, you do shenanigans. I mean, I don't really know if I care about anything yet. Like, this doesn't matter. When you unlock this door, that eats a permanent that no one... Yeah, I'll just get rid of the thing that blanks my removal spell. I don't really care about anything else here. Sure. I'm surprised they didn't lead with the 1/1, as that one's probably worth keeping. I'm going to do this now so they can't do shenanigans like pump it or anything along those lines. Let's just get rid of that Guardian of New Benalia. Okay, Calyx is a bit of a nuisance. I'll admit that. And now I care that they have the grand entryway, right? Because they're just going to be able to make copies of that every time. Cool. So I think they get to ramp, right? You may, of a non-legendary enchantment you control, so that's a land. All right, I'll take 4. I gotta do something fast, actually. This thing's starting to spiral. Because I forgot about these enchantment lands. I'll counter the spell. Okay, I need to find something to do now. Perfect. Okay. So these are all really good. They're answers. Okay. I'm going to hope here that I can efficiently just make them sacrifice their non-token creature in case they have something weird to flash in. I don't want to deal with it. All right. Sure. And then okay, so they're going to get a 1/1 Glimmer enchantment token. The other side is like... unlock this store, create a 1/1. Oh, they're just going to do that numerous times over. Solid. Super solid. What do I want to do here? probably threaten that I could hold up mana when you lock the store, put a 1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. So they can't activate that at instant speed, so that's good. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and cast my stock up. I'll blow this up because I think they get a draw card, and I don't want that. Okay, I'll take stock up and the betrayal. And then I'll go ahead and just have them exile their token and then the rest of their graveyard. Perfect. Now time to pet the Moogle. No, not the Ward 2 creature. Okay. Let's go digging, I guess. Oh, that's kind of sick. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just play Filigree Silex, and then I'll pass. After I play my land, of course. Sure. They get a 1/1 out of this. Hopefully they don't draw a Sheltered by Ghosts. Or that. That's pretty bad, too. Okay. Sure. Go for it, opponent. You got it. Let me read this. Whenever Calyx or an enchanted creature, right? Okay, cool. Put an oil counter. Oh, that's funny. Okay, hold on. I should just do this on Calyx now before I die to it later. All right, I'll pass. And I guess now I'll go ahead and pop it, right? This is a 1-drop, so let's just get rid of that. There you go. I will not be bouncing that card back to your hand. Don't worry about that. This has to be like some kind of protection spell, right? Now they've exhausted both of their rooms and both options. I will not bounce that back to their hand. Maybe it's worth it to draw 3 and then just start beating down. Or I could just play Ghost Vacuum. I kind of love Ghost Vacuum for this. Yeah, I'm going to just play Ghost Vacuum and then just start eating up their yard and playing their deck. I think that's going to be my game plan. Assuming that they don't Salt Rage or something like that. I'm going to hold the Meringue River Regent just as something to do. Okay, I got a backup copy. Now we're talking. Let's see what their deck does. All right, let's mill their graveyard a little, mill their deck a little bit. Perfect. Solid. So now that I have the Restless Reef beat down, God, this is like beautiful. This is perfect blue-white control playstyle. Beat with a man land. That's it. This mana base is looking juicy. Look how perfect this is. It's not as painful. It's making my Moogle happy. We're going to pet the Moogle. I'm going to play just an island. I wonder if not playing an island does any... Like, if I would have played like a blue-black land, does that alter how they play? It's unlikely that it does, but I figured. Okay, what do they got? Sirach? It's fine. You get one. On the house, buddy. All right, I gotta hope they don't have, like, Cavern of Souls or something like that. Cavern of Souls wrecks me right now, like, to beyond belief. What is in their hand? Oh, their Teamer. Okay. Use the counter spell that really doesn't have value as we start moving into the later game. I'll pass. There's no way they're a Sib-Sig combo randomly, because that's a triple black spell. Other creatures control power 4 or greater. I feel like I am gonna eventually run out of counter spells and things to do or say against this opponent, so you know what? I'm gonna just counter Cactus Folk Man, and I'm gonna hope I draw an untapped 5th land. All right, sick. I'm gonna hold up counter magic again one more time. If they do nothing, we're slowly just building up our mana. Cool. So they have nothing to do. I like that. I'll pass. Fine. There you go. I think they're waiting for a counter, like, for them to draw something that, makes their stuff uncounterable. Okay, I cannot wait any longer, right? So I'm going to go for stock up, look for a land. Sure. That's kind of rough because now I can't counter them. I'll throw away that, the 2-mana spell. Okay. I think they're playing Ureni or something like that. Okay, there you go, opponent. I'm going to have them play this again. They might have a land and just play Ureni. Okay. All right, cool. So I can shrink and kill some things, right? So I'm going to go ahead and swing in. I need to find an answer, though. My concern is, like, can I let this live whenever another non-token creature you control enters? I got to get rid of that card. Everything here is 3 mana. So if I want to add 2 counters to that, I just got to hold up mana, but then I super duper die. Oh, I guess I could just make a clone. Never mind. I'm fine. I could just make a clone of whatever. Of my Meringue River Regent. All right, let's see how they block. Or swing. I need them to not have anything. Okay, cool. So I may not want the land here, right? So now I get an ETB. I can bounce 2 things. I need this card gone. I think Spinner is just annoying. All right. Perfect. Sure. Let me see. How much mana do I have here? I can go ahead and play Harvester as a body. What do I want to get rid of? I guess the Temur Battlecrier is scarier to me. Because I can just deal with Warden of the Grove eventually. And the tokens that they make are spirits that don't fly. So do not care about that either. Railway Brawler. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, we have Interaction and Gear Hulk, right? So eventually we're going to run into the big bad. The big bad is, of course, mono red. Probably don't need the cut down because I assume this is Boros midrange. So how do I beat the mid-range deck? I mean, I have a Jace to try to mill them out. So that's right. They have all these tokens. So Harvester of Misery is going to be a card I want to keep an eye on. I got to leave up 2 mana here just to make sure I counter whatever 3-drop spell they might have. Whether it's the enchantment or the artifact. Either one, it's too much value. Yeah, okay, cool. That's why we did what we did. Behold, 0 dragons. I hope I draw an untapped 3rd land so that I can hold up 3 steps ahead as well, though. Okay. I didn't draw a 3rd land that's untapped, but I did draw Duress, so let's see. Do they have shenanigans? They do. So, Season of the Burrow is something that I think will be annoying because it's going to reanimate stuff, but on the brighter side, I do not care about that right now because I can just exile whatever they have in their graveyard. So let's just focus on getting lands. Okay, I'll take 1. They may crack the token here, which we like, because the more things they get into their yard, the more we can just exile that yard, get a clean sweep on it. They move to the bottom. I'm gonna have to do something. If I do not draw a land, I can wait for a little bit, right? I'm gonna just go ahead and cast Strategic Betrayal. I think the longer I hold on to this Dispelling Exhale right now, the worse it gets. So I want to bait them into using something like an Elspeth or something like that, right? Okay, so they have no permits they can reanimate as it currently stands with the Season of the Burrow. Come on, don't you want to make some tokens? Yeah, okay, so I'll just Dispelling Exhale that now while I can. Boom, love that. Drew a land? My God, he's gaming. I get to even counter and draw 2 on top of that, so that feels pretty good. I assume they're gonna play Fountain Port or something like that. Yeah, that's got to get countered, and then I'm gonna draw 2. I think I ditched the Gear Hulk because I need an answer in case they resolve Elspeth, right? And I don't think they just play 1. Getting rid of Blast Zone feels kind of bad because I kind of need it in case they have any of their enchantments and artifacts, so maybe it is Gear Hulk. Yeah, I think it is Gear Hulk. Perfect. Was rewarded. I'm going to pass. I'm going to put 2 counters on Blast Zone. Let's take 1. Thank you. All right, put 2 counters on it. I want to blow up everything that's going to be 3 mana. I can probably just go ahead and play Stock Up. Nice. Land, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I want the land. I think that'll just help, right? Because then I can actually do things with, like, Gear Hulk. This is where the 2 colorless lands kind of bite me in the butt, but also the, like, utility of them are kind of phenomenal. So, yep. I get to hold up 3 mana. Yeah, let's do it. Not as worried now because I can... the things I'm worried about are at 3 mana, and I can always just use my Blast Zone. Sure. Yeah, it's fine. You can have it. I want to force you into a situation where you have to use that Day of Judgment. If they don't use the Day of Judgment, that's great. I'm going to just go ahead and just use Meringue River Regent and bounce my Gear Hulk back or something. Uh-huh. All right. They have 43 cards to my 39. I'm 6 cards ahead, but if I find Jace, I can easily get them down to minus 15. I would rather them just, like, have this, this Restless Bouvac. I don't want to use the demo field on it just because I have to respect Fountain Port. Fountain Port is too much value, and this is my only demolition field. Do they have a flash card in white? No, but I might get Helixed, which is okay, that's fine. Sure. You got it. So they're not using that on any of my stuff, so we love that. I think I'm going to draw 4 here. Solid. That was a really solid draw, because now I can go ahead and get Ghost Vacuum online. Yeah, this is sick. And then Ghost Vacuum, I'll just go ahead and try to eat up my Oil Deep Gear Hulk here. Do I want to counter that, or like, risk? Yeah. Okay. We'll throw away the Duress here, because I can answer their Planeswalker by countering the ability, so I like that. Okay. Let me look in their graveyard. They may play more than one season of the whatever. The season card. Let's take a look at this card in hand. All right, Duress. I think it's time, right? Because I'm not doing anything. Yeah. I'm just going to have this enter. It's okay. They've already gained like 1,000,000 life, so I'll just pass. I'll let them gain the life anyways. I don't want to play into a temporary lockdown, so I'm going to hold up some mana. Perfect. Love that. Let's just eat up an Oil Deep Gear Hulk. Then I'm going to go ahead and go to combat. I'll go ahead and just pass again. Sure. Let's eat up a Caretaker's Talent. Land. I like that. I'll go swinging. So they're down to 16. They have to play something eventually. There's Fountain Port. That's what I've been waiting for. So now I'm going to go ahead and pop that. Sure. Finally, a target for my Anoint with Affliction. Let's hope I didn't mill all my basics. I don't think I did. I think I threw away a swamp or something like that, so I still should have some amount of islands. Yeah, there we go. Little deck thinning for everybody. Then I'm going to go ahead and also just start exiling their lands here. Just things that will be hard to deal with. Like Restless Bouvac. I mean, they haven't done anything to answer my... Oh, okay, now it's pretty much over. Drawing this counterspell locks it in. And you know it's good because we're just going to sit and we're just going to beat like this until they inevitably have to deal with my Meringue River Regent. Elspeth Stormslayer. Does this matter to me? Not really. If they activate it, I just counter it and then I win. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I want them to... Like, yeah, there you go. You activate the ability. We can counter their Elspeth's ability. And this is lethal on board, so whatever that last card is, I'll just counter it. Oh, I guess it's not lethal, only because they'll gain a life, but whatever. Helix. Yeah, that's fine. Sure. You got it. Uh-huh. Perfect. Let's eat things that are hard to deal with, please and thank you. Let's go ahead and swing. Love that. And then I guess I could just go ahead now and pass back to my opponent, right? I mean, I have to find something that would be very threatening to the point where I cannot let them resolve it. So, and I'm thinking what in my deck is exactly that. And I don't remember there being that much. So, I'll get another Gear Hulk out of my graveyard. All right, sick. I'll go ahead and swing. You know, let's just go ahead and pop, right? Because how much mana is left over after that? 3 and 1. So I actually do not care. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do this. They'll gain 2 life, but I'll get to also have some fun here with that. So sure. I'm going to bin the Anoint with Affliction, get rid of the Elspeth for them, and then I'll go ahead and just hold up the Ghost Vacuum here. Next turn, I get to go ahead and just play Meringue River Regent and bounce all my stuff back. Yes. I'll go ahead and swing out. Boom and boom. I kind of want to do this. This is going to seem wild, but it'll make sense in about a second. I'm going to just go ahead and play Meringue River Regent, return both Gear Hulks back, and then I'll pass. All right, that was a land. They'll cast some kind of card draw engine. Good game, and we'll counter them, and that was a solid, slow grind out their sanity match. I have the turn 1 Duress into a counter spell and a removal spell thanks to Harvester, so this is probably about as good as it can get. Question is, how much do I care about an early game Duress, right? So maybe it's worth starting with Risen Reef here, because I am on the play. What am I afraid of on turn 1? Maybe an opposing Duress, but they just then take my Duress. So they also may just have a bunch of spells that don't matter or can't be Duress, so. All right, so they do have Annex in hand then. Them taking Duress tells me it's Annex in hand. May as well just counter the Duress because that's the same thing. If they have another discard spell, that's... Oh, yeah, sure. You got it. So they are a discard deck. All right, let's go ahead and start putting counters on Blast Zone. Yep. I gotta counter it. It's all the same. Just in case, I'm gonna go ahead and play the demo field. I feel like demo fields are gonna be really relevant here. I'll go ahead and play Restless Reef. That's great in case they have a Lily. I mean, I do not imagine it being bad that I put 1 counter on this thing. Blast Zone at 2, probably gonna be fine. All right, I'll go ahead and pass. Unholy Annex, that's enough to make me counter and draw 2. I'll bin the land there. Oh, perfect draw for me. That is a masterpiece of a draw. All right, so I'll go ahead and just go stock up. Yes, grab another stock up. Ghost Vacuum's pretty good. I'm able to start eating away at the graveyard, get some things going, so sure, I'll pass. Target opponent discards 2 cards, so we're just doing rack effect things. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and put a counter on this. Let's take a look at what I can find. Stock up an Oil Deep. That's pretty good. All right. I mean, I'm just going to grab as much as I can, right? Sure. I'll go and just grab as much as I can. I mean, I've chained off on stock up, so I've used them all. So there's no creatures in their graveyard, but they will draw a card. I've had to throw away a decent amount of stuff, but nothing too relevant, so let's just exile Ruthless Negotiation. They'll draw a card. That's fine if I can ditch their card, right? So, boom. Go for the throat. That's fine. Unholy Annex. That's not great. But neither is them juicing me of more cards, so yeah, I'll get rid of that. I didn't even get to... I accidentally skipped through my turn. It's okay. That's great. Love that for me. So this is 8 mana total. They had it anyways. They are a mastermind. So I will go ahead and throw away Oil Deep Gear Hulk. Let's go ahead and just eat up an Oil Deep Gear Hulk then. I cannot seem to stop drawing useless cards. I'll take all of that. Let's go ahead and go swinging, just in case they make me discard any more things. And if they play Lily, I guess that's not the end of the world, because I can just go ahead and Restless Reef. So they've been stuck on 3 mana, and that's the only reason why I've been able to, like, even stay in this game. But, I mean, I don't think they're out of it. Except for the fact that none of their removal spells currently hit Gear Hulk. So if they play Lily, I might... No... Okay. Alright, alright. Okay. Yep. What do they take? Oil Deep Gear Hulk and Filigree Silex. You got it. Yep. So far, they have 3 ways to answer my Sharky, but nothing that actually matters all that much. All right, let's eat up their Ruthless Negotiation. Solid. They took another 2. Interesting. Let's see. Go for the Throat doesn't do much of anything here for me, but I'll take it, I guess. Just because it's better that I have that. Then, you know what? I think I've got how many cards under my yard here? I've got, oh, well, GG's. That's enough. I've got a lot of interaction across the board here, so I'll keep this. Do I have enough interaction for that, though? No, I'm gonna make him think I have, like, a cut down or something like that. If they don't have Sheltered by Ghosts, this is the best card. But it is heavily dependent on them having or not having that, which they play 4 of. But I believe, please. Oh, this is gonna end so poorly. They have it. Okay. Interesting. They have to have something, right? Like some way of getting indestructible or who knows what. Just going to pass until they're to upkeep. And then I'm going to pop everything. Sure. Okay, never mind. Now this is the best window. Do they know that my thing blows up everything? They're just forcing my hand here? Because that was a wild... To throw your hero right into that. I mean, look, I'm all for bluffing. You want to play chicken? Let's play chicken. That's a wild move. I'm here for it. If it doesn't lose them the game, I guess. I also would understand if no one knows what Filigree Silex does. But it's engineered explosives, and I am all for that. The last mode is irrelevant. I'm never winning with the 10 damage from Filigree Silex. From judging by the salt, I'm going to assume they didn't read what Filigree Silex does. Got it. Look, hey, you know, sometimes I know aggro players aren't used to it, but I promise you, if you read what is on the opponent's side of the board, it also helps you with your aggression game plan. I'm not trying to, you know, backseat or anything, you know? But judging by your salt, I'm going to assume you didn't read the card. And that's coming from somebody who constantly reads the card and still messes it up. Now imagine not reading it at all. But you know what, opponent? Okay. I think after the loss of their board, their phone or whatever, you know, system and machine they're using to play Magic Arena right now is probably out their window and or no longer functioning. I mean, after seeing what's going on, sure, let's oil deep them to make sure about it. We're gonna, you know, for the viewers at home, you know, you gotta crowd surf the Karn. I know the comment section loves a good old embarrassing, demolishing defeat for aggro decks. So this one's for you. Everyone watch it at home, you know? I'm getting in the mech, Oil Deep Gear Hulk. This deck is, like, really fun, by the way. Maybe blue-black control is what we need. I know. I have been really waiting for a draw-go format, but I do not think we'll be having that. So, but this is the closest we can get to a pure draw-go. Oh, yeah. You gotta probably have something to do, buddy. Well, I'll get rid of that for you. I don't know. I mean, maybe you draw into something better? They threw their phone out. They're stewing. They're like, goddamn control decks ruining my meta. even though control decks are like few and far between, except for Jeskai control. But that's like, is that really a control deck? You know what I mean? That's like I guess it still is. It's tap out control. Yeah, I know comments. I know it's tap out control, but I need a good pure draw go format. They're probably just really tanking. For everyone in the YouTube comments that are going to make the excuses for the opponent, you're right. Maybe they're walking their router or their modem. I don't know. But hey, have fun, opponent. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. Standard's kind of got a lot of ramp spells, and with all that ramp, we're hoping to get to a Sire of 7 Deaths and so many other big endgame spells, so check out this video.